I know you're going to interview Doug Peters, and Doug did a great job. He come right out of college and started working here, and he's sort of a legendary figure here.
I had heard about Doug before I ever actually had met Doug, because everybody knew who Doug was. He was such an accomplished individual as a wrestler and as a wrestling coach. To the students that he coached, he was a father figure. He was somebody that took care of them from during the season, after the season, and even after they left Lake Mary High School. He is renowned throughout Central Florida and really throughout the state as probably one of the best athletic directors that a school could have.
Frank Schwartz actually called me, and I've been working with Frank. He's the best wrestling coach in the state of Florida, and he had coached me at Lyman High School when I was a wrestler and an athlete, and coached football there as well. And he called me one day and said, "Hey, there's a new school that's being built out in Lake Mary. Would you think about coming out and helping me coach the wrestling team?" There was this beautiful new school that had televisions in the classrooms and had phones in the classroom. Never seen anything like it before. It was state of the art. And I met Mr. Reynolds, and he hired me as a wrestling coach and an algebra teacher. I actually was a wrestling coach for about 12, 13 years. We won 11 straight conference championships, 11 straight district championships, and 11 straight regional championships, so I'm very proud of that. Then I became the head football coach after a few years. It's something that I always dreamed of doing. I'd played football in high school as well, but I'd always wanted a college environment, and I saw that avenue coaching with Coach Harry Nelson, who was a great, another Hall of Famer. From football, I was able to get the athletic directing job. Mr. Raymond Gaines appointed me as the athletic director at that time, and I was just very excited about that. I felt like our sports teams needed as much recognition as possible. We had the greatest coaching staff at that time and still do, and the greatest student athletes at that time and still do. But I became the athletic director and done that for quite a few years now. Just recently stepped down from being the athletic director. At one point, we didn't have a golf coach, and I was able to look around, couldn't find a golf coach, so I hired myself. And thought I'd get a chance to put some clubs in the back of the car and play a little golf behind the guys, and realized that Lake Mary golf was pretty good here. And I had G. Moon, who was a two-time state champion, and we were able to win 3 state championships in boys golf. And I never took my club out of the car. I didn't want them to see my slice. They thought I knew what I was doing, but I got them there on time, and we had some great years and some great memories with golf parents. You know, a lot of people think we have the most athletic kids here, student athletes at Lake Mary, and we have a lot of really good ones. But our student athletes are very sharp and very smart and hard workers, and that's where I think why we have won 5 straight Seminole Athletic Conference championships, why we've won 18 out of 30 here in the Seminole Athletic Conference. It's because our student athletes are very well coached, they work hard, and they're not always the best athletes, but they outwork everybody, and they're very intelligent.
It didn't really make a difference if the team in and of itself was successful. It wasn't all about state championship teams. It was really about championship kids, whatever that meant to that young person. And he had so many wonderful athletes that he worked with. Some of them were much more athletic than others, but he cared about them all just the same.
I tried to make this a collegiate atmosphere at the high school level, and I think not only was I able to accomplish that, but many, many other people were all part of putting that together. All our coaches, all our administrators that help, our parents, but especially the student athletes. I'm just so proud of this school and everything it's done for me. It's been a pleasure for me. I still think Lake Mary High School is the new school on the block. I know they've built other schools and so around the county and so forth, but to me, it's still that shining light. And what Mr. Reynolds wanted back in 1981, it's still very much that way. I was lucky enough to be in the first class at Lyman High School. I was a wrestler at Lyman High School, and I was in that first class. I certainly wanted to be in the first class at Lake Mary High School. And there just are no words for my children and Kathy to be able to share in this. There are no words. It's been my whole life at the Peters family. Lake Mary's kind of we'd go home for dinner, we'd come back, all three children, David, Stephen, and Tara, all graduated from Lake Mary High School. Makes me very proud. Kathy's been just awesome. Although she works at Crooms, she would put her red and black on and she would travel with me all over the state and go see our teams all over and support. And if we would get in the car and go get dinner, and it was just a way of life for us for all these years. And it's been my life.